The PBA's all-time leader in tour wins is the legendary left-hander Earl Anthony. His record of 41 titles still stands. Back in 1986, a young bowler from California named Walter Ray Williams Jr. started his ascent up the charts with his first career victory. Along the way, he has piled up 6 major championships, been named PBA Player of the Year 6 times, and has taken the tour points title 6 different times. This season in Cleveland, he became just the 2nd bowler ever to win 40 titles, 1 shy of the record. The next week in St. Louis and later in Medford, Oregon, he tried to tie Earl's mark, but fell in the semifinals both times. Today, he tries for history one more time in Atlanta, Georgia. Can he get number 41? We'll find out. From Brunswick Zone, Norcross in Norcross, Georgia, minutes from downtown Atlanta. ESPN brings you live coverage of the PBA Tour. Welcome, one and all, Dave Ryan, Randy Peterson, along with 4 finalists who are ready to roll.
A 2-time Player of the Year and one of 16 players to roll a perfect game on television. With 21 titles and over $2 million in career earnings. From Claremont, Florida, Norm Duke.
Norm Duke has done it all on TV. He's bowled a 300. He's won a sudden death roll-off. He's thrown a strike out of a towel. You never know what will happen when Norm takes the stage. What up?
He's making his first TV Finals appearance in 2 seasons. Looking for his first career PBA Tour title. The 2-time All-American from San Bruno, California, Tony Reyes.
Arriba! A couple of weeks ago, Tony lit up the highlight reel with the Flying Eagle. Can he skillfully bowl his way through Millionaire Row to win his first title? Norm's number 1.
With 4 career titles and over $1 million in career earnings, he makes his first TV Finals of the season today. From Elmira, New York, Ryan Shafer.
It's been a real struggle for Ryan the first half of the season, but last week the powerful righty finished 5th, and today he could be the guy to spoil Walter Ray's party.
With a win today, he will tie the great Earl Anthony's mark of 41 career titles. A 6-time Player of the Year from Ocala, Florida, Walter Ray Williams Jr.
Walter Ray has had 2 chances this season to tie Earl Anthony's record and has come up short. It's the 3rd time a charm for number 41.
These are your finalists for the 2005 PBA Atlanta Classic.
In semifinal number 1, Tony Reyes, whose last show was Super Bowl Sunday 2002, takes on Norm Duke, who's done everything this year except win. And in semifinal number 2, red-hot Ryan Shafer, who finished 5th last week, takes on Walter Ray Williams Jr., who's looking to make history today.
And ready, let's start with Tony Reyes. Since 2002 in Dallas, Tony, your last title. How many nights have you dreamed about this moment returning to TV?
I've been waiting to get back here, like you said, 3 years to go after my first title, and what a way to go after it by starting it against Hall of Famer Norman. So I know I got to just trust my instincts and go out there and just go get them.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
You and Walter Ray have 4 TV shows now, Norm, this year. That's the best on the tour. Yet you told us last night you're not bowling your best. Why is that?
Well, I'm just not to the point where I'm proud of it yet. I'm bowling good, and believe me, I'm world class, but I know that there's room for improvement. And I'm inching there. We've got some majors coming, and right now is the time to peak.
He is confident, Randy, no question about it. These 2 bowlers on the Viper pattern, 37 feet this week.
Viper pattern, Dave. Remember last week we bowled on 43 feet, and you couldn't play the outside part of the lane. The outside part of the lane was very slick. Well, this week with 37 feet, there's going to be more back in, and that allowed the players to get outside. So, rule of thumb this week, play the outside line. If that doesn't work, chase it in, play the inside hook. some highs and lows. You see what the players did. Now, a lot of this happens when the oil starts to transition. Oil starts to break down. Guys have to start fishing around for a different angle. Once they find it, they get locked in and they start to strike again. And right now, Tony Reyes hopes that he's locked in after 15 minutes of practice.
No break for Tony on the 10-pin. First time we've seen him on TV. It's Dallas in 2000. It's been a long time for the 31-year-old from near San Jose, California. His mom, Jessica, flew in last night out of the Bay Area. And look, oh, he missed the 10-pin. You just know the nerves, Randy, must be raging for our buddy Tony, who does work on the PBA shows with us as a scorekeeper when he's not bowling, and it's been a while for him.
A little nerves and a little lack of concentration causes that.
He'll have to regain his composure. Someone who has incredible composure 21 times. A titleist on the PBA Tour. Start for Norm. And you notice he's wearing different shoes today, Randy.
Trying to get the right slide sole on his left shoes. You see the Baby Ruth Real Deal matchup. This is a real even matchup all the way around. But remember, experience is the intangible, and that goes to this guy, Mr. Norm Duke.
Spare conversion numbers for Norm, you see those. As Tony had his troubles early. Great shot, Norm Duke. Back-to-back strikes for him. And a 21-pin lead right off the hop for Norm.
Interesting early on, Dave. These players, when they were practicing, were playing out. They were playing pretty straight from out. And I would say the last 2 balls in practice Norm Duke threw were with his hook game. He moved in, changed balls, decided to go around it.
We'll see if Tony can rebound off that open frame. That's how you do it. Save is fair. Great pin action, Tony Reyes.
All right.
Tony's road here, you see the average as well. Qualifying 16th this week. 12-3 match play record, including a 5-game win at Turkey to start that match against Pete Weber in the round of 8. Never faltered from there. Had a 7-game win streak in match play broken in that matchup as well. Didn't matter. Back on TV again, but still in a hole here. Perfect shot. And a double for Reyes.
Yeah, pretty shot there on the left lane after he catches the wall. You know, these are 2 of the funner guys on the tour. They both have real engaging personalities, a lot of fun off the lanes, and a lot of fun to watch, especially when they throw shots like that.
The white shoe on the right for Norm. He feels gives him better traction. Fans love it with the Duke call, and its partner has pretty much fallen apart. Bowling shoes have the components, Randy. Can you explain that for us?
Well, you've got the heel, the sole, the inside part of the shoe. Norm is the kind of guy, when he gets comfortable with one pair, he doesn't like to change shoes. And unfortunately, he blew apart his sliding shoe. And you can see what he's done. He bowled his good buddy in the round of 8, Mike Machuga, and disposed of him 4-2. Right now, Norm Duke perfect through 3 frames.
So wearing the different shoes, working out for him. What a start, Norm Duke.
You hear that little squeak right as he enters the slide. That's telling you he's got good traction. And when you're trying to hook the ball, you better have some leverage underneath you. You better get that slide shoe or that slide foot to come to a stop so you can deliver power at the bottom of the swing.
Back to Tony Reyes. As Norm Duke has started with a front 4. Tony has found his groove. Turkey ball for him. As his mom came in, Jessica, we mentioned a long flight in last night to be here in person. We see our Denny's road to the World Championship. Patrick Allen, number 1 with a back-to-back wins, did not make the show this week, looking for 3 straight. Walter Ray Williams Jr. bidding for his 41st title. He's number 4 right now. The PA has overtaken Danny Wiseman. is the official restaurant of the PBA Tour. What a rally from Reyes. If you're going to have an open frame, have it be your first one. And a four-bagger for Tony.
Super Bowl Sunday for sure.
Just putting it to Norm. He's saying, hey, I'm not afraid. Let's go, man. Watch this. Flush.
And a little holding call there. Interesting take on his Super Bowl pick we'll talk about with Tony Reyes. We think it might be ASC since he's a Raider fan.
Wow.
10 pin, and the streak broken at 4 in a row for Norm Duke. But that looked pretty good.
Sure did. 6 goes right around the 10. Watch this. The second pin from your right, it's going to go around the 10, just like that, and really fast, too.
Mark her down.
Same kind of 10 pin that cost Mike Devaney his title last week against Patrick Allen.
Second head-to-head matchup for Norm against Tony Reyes on TV. Actually lost to him in a prior matchup. And told us last night he's had some very difficult head-to-head confrontations with Tony in the past. He'd like to forget he's been rolled over by Tony a few times in match play. We are chasing history coming up here on ESPN's coverage of the PBA Tour. We'll have Walter Ray Williams Jr. in a semifinal match. Number 41, can he get it? Semifinal number 2 against Ryan Shafer from Elmira, New York. Ryan's first TV appearance of the season. 4th for Walter Ray. Is this the day he ties the record?
Look out.
Really high through the nose. Look out indeed. Tough split coming here. 3, 4, 6, 7.
Come on, buddy. Your shot.
Got to get the ball over here. Throw the 3 into the 4-7. The ball will take out the 10.
Oh! Can he get it? Oh, the 7 would not go down.
Wow.
Almost. But an open frame. We'll talk much more about Walter Ray Williams Jr. and his quest for number 41 and continue this exciting semifinal between Norm Duke and Tony Reyes. Who advances to the final in Atlanta? We'll find out. PBA Tour stop back in the peach state of Georgia. Since 1970 when Wayne Zahn won the Pro-Am Classic. First time you've ever been in Norcross, about 30 minutes northeast of downtown Atlanta, Georgia. And we are indeed chasing history today. These little signs passed out to the fans here in Atlanta. Will Walter Ray Williams Jr. tie the late, great Earl Anthony's record of 41 career titles? The big question. And he's had 2 chances already on TV this year, and 2 times he failed, losing in the semifinals. And you get the feeling from speaking to Walter Ray, his approach to tying the record has changed quite a bit.
It really has. You know, his mindset going into each and every tournament has always been the same. He goes in and tries to win every tournament. But now his mindset is different. He's got this Earl Anthony thing starting to creep into the equation, and I think it's a distraction. And quite honestly, the longer he goes without tying Earl's record, the harder it's going to be for him.
Great start, certainly, for Tony Reyes after his tough open frame. He's had a bunch of strikes in a row. Tony's big story is coming back from a knee injury right now, which has a lot to do with our Dexter approach today.
Yeah, it really does. And Tony is still struggling with a knee injury, but professional athletes, they make adjustments when they're injured. They play through injuries, and it's no different on the PBA Tour. And I'm going to show you the adjustments that Tony Reyes has made in this week's Dexter approach. Now, Tony Reyes is now starting with the ball much further away from him this way at the start. And what that does is it's going to get the ball into the swing much earlier. So now he's already creating early timing. And why do you ask? Well, because he's going to play the lanes much straighter. Watch the ball and the slide foot arrive much more together. That enables him to go much straighter. Now here's the knee injury. Look how much lower to the ground this ball is than this ball. Tony had to make the adjustments. This week the adjustment worked. On this oil pattern, he was able to go much straighter.
4-bagger for Reyes after the open frame where he missed a 10-pin, a single pin conversion. You see the strike percentage numbers. In match play only. Chance for a 15-pin lead with a 5th strike in a row. That really had to hurry. Wow. Was that light? And a tough spare coming.
This is too far to the right, too far outside, too fast. Whiffs the head pin. However, he doesn't split. He leaves himself the 1-2-4.
119 events and counting. And Tony's career without a title, going for his first today. So some history for Tony as well. In addition to Walter Ray bidding for number 41, and look out, the head pin miss, which you just don't see, folks, on the PBA Tour ever. And another open for Tony.
Are you kidding me? Tony Reyes doesn't have a spare yet in this game, and gives Norm Duke a 10-pin lead after that open frame.
Heading into the TV show, he had 31 straight frames without an open. Going back to game 2, round 8 matchup with Pete Weber. That's a touch high, and look at the split he's got now. A 410. Tough one trying to kick it across the deck to the 10-pin. And he can't do it. The TV timeout. How much did that hurt Tony? He had a 4-bagger going.
Well, I think it hurt him because his knee might have stiffened up on him. You know, in match play and in the tournament, during the qualifier, you keep going, you continue on unless there's a breakdown or you're following a really slow group. But in match play, it's one shot after another.
Duke tries to take advantage, and that's how that 21-time titleist does it. 2 times the Player of the Year in '94 and 2000. 2 times he's won the High Average Award. He is a veteran.
Yeah, and when you open back-to-back against Norm Duke, it's like Norm walking down the street and finding a bag full of money. He's going to take advantage of it.
Is he ever? Looks for the double here, 8th frame, as he bids for his first title since Kansas City last season, early in the year. He's on his way.
Big-time shot for a future Hall of Famer, knowing that he can put all the pressure on Tony Reyes.
I'll tell you much more about the show coming up next week. Riviera Lanes in Ohio. Legendary spot used to be on the PBA Tour. Back to Tony Reyes.
Oh no!
And again, a difficult break. That's an 8-10.
Back-to-back-to-back open frames, unless he somehow finds a way to convert the 8-10, which is not likely.
What's happening to Tony's technique here?
Looks like he's getting fast.
Yep, won't kick that across for the 10 either. Another open after 4 straight strikes, and Norm Duke is trying to cash in now. He's got a double going, heading into his foundation frame. Boy, is that frustrating for Tony Reyes. PBA's top bowler has hit the lanes next Sunday afternoon. ESPN's coverage of the PBA Bowling Tour rocks on. The finals of the Jackson Hewitt Tax Service Open from AMF Riviera Lanes in Fair Lawn, Ohio. PBA Bowling, check the start time, 12:30 Eastern. We are 2 Eastern today, 12:30 next week. That's a better shot from Tony Reyes.
That's going to keep Norm Duke honest. Tony can strike out and shoot 202. Norm Duke right now going at a 224 pace.
1 strike. 1 strike.
Norm can strike out and shoot 254. 1 strike here and it's all over. Oh!
10-pin.
Mark here, all he has to do is stay behind the foul line and keep it on the lane. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's right. He marks here, he's in the 220s. All he has to do in the 10th frame is stay behind the foul line, keep it on the lane, get good count, and he's a winner. First things first, cover the 10.
He has that. 6th all-time on the money list. Norm Duke has surpassed $2 million career dollars in earnings this year. He just needs 5 pins now to shut out Tony Reyes and take this semifinal. Chasing history coming up here from suburban Atlanta. Walter Ray Williams Jr. goes for number 41, tie Earl Anthony's record against Ryan Shafer, who has other ideas. Ryan, as we'll talk about, very confident in his own right. He could get his first title of the year. Norm Duke has all 10. That means a win over Tony Reyes in the semifinals, and Norm is through to the championship match to take on either Walter Ray Williams Jr. or Ryan Shafer. So Tony's mom, Jessica, who took Tony to all of those tournaments when Tony was young growing up, would change her times to go to church to make sure she could get Tony to the tourneys. Tony promised her in 2002. He said, Mom, when I make another show, you'll be invited. Well, Jessica's come out to the show tonight. However, has seen her son fall to Norm Duke.
Good week for Tony Reyes to build on, Dave. He got him back into the top 40 for the exempt list for next year. Norm Duke is gonna bowl for the title.
And Tony Reyes, who altered his push away due to the knee issues he's had, will have to wait another week for that first ever title. He was playing, he told us last night, put up the best number possible and
Hey, a spare.
see what happens. Well,
What is that?
at least he's had a good time with it.
Yeah, Tony Reyes isn't a bad spare shooter either. I'm sure he's not the only person surprised with the fact that he missed a couple spares today. But hopefully this is something he can build on. Like I said earlier, he's a great
Win it all,
guy.
Tony.
Last time on TV, 2002 loss to Richie Allen in Dallas, the eventual winner. There's some late help.
Hey, man, I wish I could have got down there in the 10th. I totally bowled my time. I love you, buddy. All right, you bowl good.
Great competition among friends. Duke wins the semifinal match. Walter Ray Williams Jr. will take on Ryan Shafer in the other semi. That is coming up from suburban Atlanta. Will he get number 41? We find out today.
If these stay on the lanes, this is a miracle. Here we go.
Oh, no, don't get a strike with the one right down the middle. No way. Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. No, come on. That was one ball. That was only one. Oh, shit.
Miller High Life selected 4 lucky contestants to participate in the annual Jason Couch Challenge. The bowlers were chosen at random from a sweepstakes square off against each other in an elimination tournament. Paul Contarano from Geneva, Illinois won and earned the chance to bowl a game against PBA great Jason Couch. Now, if Paul converted a 7-10 split, he would have received $100,000. Contarano was no match for Couch, but it was all in good fun. Took home $500, and all the contestants had a great weekend here in Norcross, Georgia. Here in Norcross, Georgia, near Atlanta, Norm Duke has knocked out Tony Reyes. Semifinal number 1, 222-182. Walter Ray Williams Jr. has beat a tie Earl Anthony's all-time record of 41 titles continues in a moment as he takes on Ryan Shafer in semifinal number 2. Now the round of 8 of the Miller High Life PBA Skills Challenge continues. Today's matchup features the skills of Brian Voss and Brad Angelo.
From Rockport, New York, Brad Angelo. From Alpharetta, Georgia, Brian Voss.
No, I'm just trying to hit the head pin.
We'll see if he can hit the head pin, knock down as many as possible.
All right.
Tough shot. Out of the towel.
Oh, he did hit the head pin. Oh, 9.
Voss needs a strike to win this one.
Don't hook too much.
Only 6. Angelo takes a 1-set lead.
I'm going to spin the ball down the middle of the lane, and then both balls are going to hit the pins at the same time and get a strike. But the second one will be out of a towel. So there's an element of timing here, too, that has to happen. Okay, let's hope that comes close, because got to hurry up and get this in here and get the timing so that they both
Might not need another
pins.
ball. That looks perfect.
That does look pretty close.
Need a big 4 here.
Spectacular shot.
I'm in trouble.
Brad Angelo.
Oh boy, that was nice. That was nice.
Towel ball slams into the spinning ball. Right there. Caves in the 10.
Sensor's off.
Sensor's off, correct.
Stay there, right there.
Incredible shot by
that
Angelo.
might go in the gutter, Brian. That might go in the gutter.
Voss has got to match it.
Hook. Come on, hook. Don't go in
There
the
it
gutter.
comes.
There we go. All right.
Don't wait too long.
He's got a chance with a spinning ball. Now the towel shot.
Oh,
That's
no.
trouble.
I'm going to have to count on the green ball. Come on, hit a ball. Hit a ball. Come on. Jeez, I hit it.
The spinning ball almost does it for Brian Voss.
So 2-0 lead for Angelo. And now Brian Voss trying to get on the board. 2-ball strike, opposite hand.
Now that has got a real good chance.
Yeah.
Can't last forever, Brad.
I'm trying, though.
Can't last forever.
I'm trying. I'm putting up a fight, that's for sure. All right, here we go. If I keep these on the lane again, it's an absolute miracle.
Voss has practiced that shot a lot. Let's see if Brad has.
No.
That's better than I've done.
He's on the board.
That's okay. I got 1 strike.
Round of applause.
That's
Okay, I finally got a strike. Thank you. Thank you.
2-1, Brad Angelo the lead. First to 3 strikes wins. 3-ball strike, opposite hand again for Brian Voss. Can he match +1 ball with the
No,
left?
talk to me. Talk to me. That's got a
pretty
real,
good there.
real good chance. The 5 to take a snap.
What was that?
That was a
And this is just
snap.
sick.
Wow.
Ball ricochets off the
All right.
5, makes the 7. Unbelievable.
All right.
Good luck, Brad.
Can Angelo match it here with the opposite
strike
hand?
2.
Oh,
Strike
no,
2.
they're
We got
all
one
in the gutter.
Okay, he's coming from behind. He was down 0-2 at one time. 0-2 at one time.
That means we're tied 2-2.
Come on.
Next person to get a strike wins the competition. Got to cross him here. 4-6
Not the
split.
black one this time. Oh, yes, Brad.
All right.
Okay,
I love the Voss
buddy.
This is
celebration
the week.
dances.
You're right. This is.
for the week.
I understand.
Voss showing off his Andy Verapapa.
Crisscross.
Angelo must match.
Otherwise, it's over.
Oh, that's going to be close, but no cigar.
Brian Voss rallies down 0-2, wins at 3-2.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Brian Voss.
All right.
Join us next week from the Jackson Hewitt Tax Service Open, where the round of 8 action continues. Parker Bone III taking on Michael Haugen Jr. Now that was fun to watch. Brian Kretzer, Chris Barnes are still alive as well. Our full bracket of the Miller Highlight PBA Skills Challenge. Voss over Angelo in that one. Still to come today here from suburban Atlanta, Georgia. Will Walter Ray Williams Jr. tie Earl Anthony's record? 41 career titles. He takes on Ryan Shafer in the semis next. Two weeks ago, left-handed PBA veteran Patrick Allen forever etched his name into the PBA history books. He took care of last year's point champion Brad Angelo in the finals. Taking home a title in Texas. That was followed last week by a nail-biter in Birmingham, Alabama. After that big shot, Mike DeViney on his second of the 10th needed this strike. It was a 10-pin, and on the bench, Patrick Allen had his second straight championship. With that, PA became the first lefty since Parker Bone III in '97 to log back-to-back PBA Tour titles. Jam-packed house in suburban Atlanta, Georgia for the PBA Atlanta Classic. And some of the young fans had a 41 signed, hoping to be a part of history today. Norm Duke is thrilled over Tony Reyes. Who wins the second semifinal? We'll find out shortly. They're both joined now by Randy Peterson.
Ryan, the big news this week is this guy here trying to tie Earl Anthony's record of 41 career titles, but you have a chance to play spoiler. Is that added incentive?
Yeah, it's added incentive. I mean, Walter Reyes is probably the greatest bowler ever, but he's got these things in the crowd that say 41, but I'm going to change them and turn it to 4+1 and put my initials on it.
Great, Ryan. Thanks very much. Good luck. Wow. Well, Walter Reyes with a win today. Not only do you tie Earl's record, but you throw yourself right in the middle of Player of the Year race. Which one motivates you more?
Both. I want to be Player of the Year again, and I want to get 41 and 42 titles. The best way to do it to win this week.
Great. Thanks, Walter Reyes. Good luck. Dave Ryan, remember, if Walter Reyes were to win Player of the Year again, he would surpass Earl Anthony and become the only player in PBA history to win that honor 7 times.
They both have 6 right now, Randy. You are correct. And that is what is on the line. The prize money and the points. Ryan Shafer much more important as he's made the climb, as we'll document, from real trouble in terms of exemption from next year. From Elmira, New York, southern tier of New York State, near the Pennsylvania border, not far from Binghamton. First ball, the TV show for him this year. Good pin action for Ryan Shafer.
Oh, lucky there.
Sounded pretty confident in his interview, didn't he?
How about those words? He was thinking about that as soon as he saw the 41 signs being passed out. And Walter Ray Williams' wife, Paige, is here to support her husband. Speaking of good pin action, the paralyzing 5 goes down for Walter Ray. His mother is here as well, Esther from Northern California. Paige's parents, Tom and Billy Sue, have made the trip as well as we lead into our Baby Ruth Real Deal matchup.
The cranker versus the straighty. When you think of a guy that cranks it, you think of a lot of strikes and big scores. But check this out. Walter Ray averaging 14 pins a game higher than Ryan Shafer. Look out.
Off the mark for Deadeye.
Maybe a pinch too hard.
The horseshoe pitching champion.
Walter Ray says too hard. Watch the ball. It doesn't even hook in the back part of the lane. The first frame, he basically caved in the bucket. That time too hard, leaving the 2-4-5.
It's odd to see Walter Ray ever leave a 5-pin. Very rare, but does take care of the spare nicely to avoid the open. That was something that did in Tony Reyes in our first semifinal today. Third attempt for Walter Ray to tie the record. In St. Louis, he lost to eventual champ Rick Lawrence. In Medford to Mike Wolf. They both eventually won their titles. Ryan Shafer's road here. Very impressive. 6-game win, including a 7-bagger over Brian Himmler in the round of 8.
Come on. Yeah.
Hurries nicely on the back end of the oil pattern. Good ball reaction from Shafer. That ball looked a little bit light off the release, but once it hit the backside of the pattern, hooked perfectly into the pocket.
Yeah, you know that revolution and rotation he's got on it. Once it cleared the pattern, man, it went left like somebody kicked it down there. And early, it looks like the hook ball is the way to go. Norm Duke used it. He beat Tony Reyes in the first match. Ryan Shafer using it against Walter Ray Williams Jr. Look out. Wow!
Unbelievable ball reaction from Ryan Shafer. He is throwing it so hard, folks, to see that ball and right back to the pocket on the back end of the oil.
Yeah, this ball here looked like it was,
whoa,
it wasn't going to get back, and it just turned the corner. I'm going to go get him some coffee right now to go with that sweet roll.
Walter Ray answers, but a 10-pin on a well-thrown ball. Could this develop again, folks, for Walter Ray Williams Jr., who in his 2 matches on TV after getting his 40th win, you mentioned St. Louis to eventual champ Rick Lawrence, Medford to Mike Wolf, ran into buzzsaws, really. Those guys bowl well on TV. This is a great start for Ryan Shafer. You saw the single pin numbers as Walter Reyes increases his percentage there.
You saw that stat, Walter Reyes missing 7 single pin spares since 2002. He told us last night that he misses 1 10-pin out of every 100 or 200 tries.
Something like that. The all-time greats, no question about it. That's why they call him Deadeye. He's figured out the reaction on that lane, no question. And we've gone 26 straight frames heading into this final without an open.
That's pretty much perfect right there. He's thrown a lot of them there, by the way, in his career. You don't win 40 titles without throwing the ball in the 1-3 a lot.
Shafer, meanwhile, trying to continue the good start. Got the front 4 to go for here. Little gentle fun with former champion in his own right, Chris Barnes, who's known to take his time sometimes on his delivery. 10-pin.
Pretty good shot. Anytime you leave a ring in 10, you know it's real close to being good. This ball gets left a little bit, and when it stays in the pattern a little bit longer, you know, you've got a little oil created in the middle part of the lane. It pushes just a little bit longer before it goes left. Usually it snaps the 6 around the 10.
Will help.
He'll get it as he bids for his first title since November of 2003, the Empire State Open, Latham, New York. 9th season, Oklahoma last night to Texas Tech. Oklahoma State won over Baylor in the Big 12. Shafer stays high.
You know, one of the most incredible stats I've ever read about Walter Ray Williams Jr. is that this marks the 13th consecutive season he has made at least 4 shows.
Shots like that, an incredible streak.
Oh, and by the way, he's back. There's a double. Ryan Shafer, don't let up. It looks like he's moved a little bit further right, got a little bit softer. Now all of a sudden you see a down lane ball reaction.
148 career TV appearances. You're on TV that much, you win 40 titles, you know about adjustments like that. Looks for a double 6th frame to even things up. That's really high in the Big 4. Wow. Remains for Walter Ray right through the nose.
Just looked pretty good, and then all of a sudden he got to the middle part of the lane and started to go left. Right now, Walter Ray looks like he's in that in-between zone. A little bit too far to the right, it hooks high. He moves in off of that, and if he gets a pinch fast, it goes light. Look out! He got it! 4! Are you kidding me?
4! Walter Ray Williams Jr., incredible shot! Oh my!
Unbelievable! Wow.
It is the first time ever in PBA Tour history on television anyone has made the Big 4. We saw it today. How about Walter Ray Williams Jr.? Welcome back. Welcome back. The largest city in the state of Georgia, and the capital, has seen one of the large moments, Randy, of the PBA Tour. We have seen 16 300 games on television. We have seen 3 7-10s. We had never seen a Big 4 conversion until today. 4-7-6-10. Walter Ray Williams Jr. Unbelievable.
Yeah, amazing. Well, it doesn't surprise me that he did it.
Back to Ryan Shafer. Perfect shot. And a double for him. Strikes in frames 5 and 6. Quite a reaction we saw from our crew, from Ryan, of that Big 4 conversion. Sometimes, even when you're in a match, I'd imagine, you know, from winning your 13 titles, you got to be sure you don't get overwhelmed by what your opponent is doing like that.
Without question, Ryan needs to stay in the moment and just concentrate on what he's doing.
Other finishers, bottom of your screen. Big shot again from Ryan Shafer.
It's really a neat story about Ryan Shafer and his struggles throughout the year. He had it going last week, could have made the show. All he needed was a mark, the 10th frame of the last game, the round of 8, and split. And right now, he's got Walter Reyes on the run.
Turkey now for Shafer with 3 straight strikes. Down 34 pins, works on a strike, 8th frame. Walter Reyes chance to reduce the lead of Shafer to 24. As this legend chases the left-handed legend Earl Anthony, trying for 41 titles. Right at the pocket.
Change balls in that lane. That was a trouble lane. He came through it. Wow. It lays off a little bit more. It doesn't hook quite as sharp down the lane, so he can let the front part of the lane make that ball start to turn up. Just have it kind of roll set.
Now it's Shafer. He battles diabetes on a daily basis. Also has a hip problem. That's given him a lot of trouble. Strained tendon.
Wow.
Is rallying. 4-bagger for Shafer.
2 completely different lines to the pocket. Walter Reyes right up first arrow, right about right there. Nice and direct. You see the ball kind of roll up and stop. Ryan Shafer is going to go this way. Both about the same break point down the lane, but because of that side rotation and revolutions, he gets his ball to kick off of that spot and hook up into the pocket. But in either case, you still have to be accurate. Your ball speed has to be good. The ball has to come off your hand the same way twice.
He's got a fan here in Atlanta. Ryan's wife Michelle is watching back home in Elmira, New York. Snow and cold upstate. Ryan trying to heat it up. Here in Atlanta, and he's doing just that as he gets great pin action.
Big time break.
Terrible.
The best Walter Reyes Williams Jr. can shoot. 245. Ryan Shafer's already in the 250s. He can strike out for 279.
Thanks for the turkey ball. Foundation frame, big strike. Down 34 pins, can cut it to 24. Cannot falter here.
Stranger things have happened, and we've seen it before with Walter Reyes. He strikes out. He forces Ryan Shafer to do something good in the 10th frame, like a mark, or any kind of mark. But we've seen stranger things happen. First things first, strikeout. Wow.
8 pin.
Not going to happen today for Walter Reyes.
All but eliminates Walter Reyes from this semifinal match. Ryan Shafer will bowl Norm Duke in the final. And the quest for number 41 to tie Earl Anthony's all-time title record will have to wait another day
The pocket.
for another tournament. 3 times Walter Reyes has been on TV to try to tie the record. 3 times he'll fall short, each time in the semis. And Ryan Shafer hopes history repeats itself because the prior 2 victors over Walter Reyes in the semis, as the quest continued, won their respective tournaments. As we pointed out, Rick Lawrence, Mike Wolf. How about Ryan Shafer's bid for his first title of the season?
Uh-oh. Oh. Yeah, you beat Walter Reyes, you go on to win the tournament.
It's a shame.
Great game that Ryan Shafer bowled. Kept the pressure on Walter Reyes the entire match. He's going to be in the 250s with a spare here.
Takes care of the 10 pin. Ryan Shafer, who told us how frustrated he was with the way things are going, likes the new format this year. is even talking about, because he hadn't had success, well, maybe I shouldn't even do this. Maybe I should open up a bowling center back home or build one. In Corning, New York, near Elmira. Well, those plans are put on hold for a while because he could be exempt with a tour win here today. And number 41 for Earl Anthony is still safe. Walter Reyes' quest will have to wait at least another tournament. Shafer is through to the final. Saturday's Pro-Am was a special event for 17-year-old Bobby Hall from Fort Mill, South Carolina. Bobby was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis at the age of 2. His wish was to bowl alongside his PBA idol Pete Weber. Children's Wish Foundation International, PBA, helped make this wish come true.
Oh, I basically picked Pete because I've always liked his outgoing style of bowling, how he's really small and he just gets in everybody's face. Just the loudest guy out there, loves to bowl. It's just great. I love the way he just carries himself.
To be picked by Bobby for his Make-A-Wish from the foundation, it's just an honor and thrill for me to be part of it.
And there is Bobby Hall. That organization fulfills wishes for seriously ill children, provides support for their families as well, based here in Atlanta. How about Super Bowl picks for our 4 bowlers? Well, Walter Williams Jr., not much of a football fan, but Tony Reyes goes for the Raiders. You know that. They're not playing, of course, since he's from the Bay Area. So he's got to be an AFC fan for the big game tonight. Ryan Shafer for the Eagles. Well, why is that? Well, Ryan is from Elmira, New York, not far from the Syracuse University campus, where Donovan McNabb was a big star for the Syracuse Orange. Let's find out more about Ryan Shafer in this week's Miller Six-Pack.
Ryan, who did you want to be when you were growing up?
Well, I'm a real big Yankees fan, and that was the era when they had the Bronx Zoo with Reggie Jackson and Thurman Munson and those guys. But I always pretended I was Greg Nettles playing third base.
For you, what is the best time of day?
Best time of day is late at night.
Why?
It's just because probably nobody's awake and I can do what I want to do. And my wife goes to bed early because she's got to wake up, and I can kind of do the housework and get everything done I need to get done.
If you could have dinner with any 3 persons, living or dead, who would they be and why?
Probably the first person I like to have dinner with is Don Bradley. He was my favorite Yankee of all time. Secondly, probably Martin Luther King Jr. I'm a big history buff, and my American history teacher was really big on Martin Luther King Jr., and I would like to sit down and talk to him. And probably, and this is a strange one, but Richard Nixon, because I'd like to know what the hell he was thinking.
What is the smartest thing you've ever done?
Marry my wife, no question about it. She's the nicest person I've ever met, and she made me a better person.
What is the one thing that you do that takes your mind completely off of bowling?
Every day, I try to read the sports section in USA Today and do the crossword puzzle. And I don't think about bowling when I'm doing either of those.
What is your favorite word and why?
Probably my favorite word is Joel. And that's because everybody calls me Joel, and you can use it with a lot of people. Like if you're in public and somebody won't get out of your way, you say, "Hey, Joel, get out of the way," and they really don't know who you're talking to, but it's pretty funny.
How did you ever arrive at this nickname, Joel? Who gave it to you?
Eugene McCune, my roommate. We were watching Risky Business, and when Guido the Killer Pimp was chasing everyone, he said, "Joel, I think I'm going to throw up on you, Joel," and then Eugene just started calling me Joel, and it stuck.
On the road, we are headed to famous Riviera Lanes in Fair Lawn, Ohio, not far from Akron, Ohio. Those are 3 spots for Pro-Ams. Be sure to log on to PBA.com to buy your tickets for Saturday, February 12th. That's all coming up in addition to the U.S. Open presented by Odor Eaters in North Brunswick, New Jersey, and the Brunswick Zone Center has a Pro-Am. Be sure to log on to PBA.com and get your tickets for that exciting event. 2 Pro-Am chances. Norm Duke, Ryan Shafer, head-to-head for a championship. Who earns the exemption for next year? Who earns the big money? We'll find out. Norm Duke is 3-1 head-to-head against Ryan Shafer. on TV, including the Brunswick Pro Circuit Classic Championship match back in 1998. So he tries for a 22nd title, another championship match win over Ryan today. Leads us to our Geico Direct Championship recap, Randy.
Earlier in semifinal number 1, it was Norm Duke defeating Tony Reyes by the score of 222-182. Duke making all the right moves. Then in semifinal number 2 is Ryan Shafer defeating Walter Ray by the score of 258-224. Too much power for Walter Ray to handle.
We are set for the final. Great crowd today in Atlanta. We lined up 4 hours before our showtime. Watch Ryan Shafer with a good start. Stays hot. He really appears focused and wasn't just posturing there in his interview with you before the match with Walter Ray Williams Jr.
Well, I think part of the reason why he's so confident is he's able to play his A game right now. He's got the ball reaction that he likes.
Norm Duke. Great start. See how left he is. Looks like he's made a move. But he plays the hook perfectly into the pocket.
Pretty tight matchup with the exception of average. Norm Duke, almost 5 pins a game higher average. But I think the thing you really have to look for is that Ryan Shafer's playing his A game. Norm Duke is not. And remember, he told us last night that his hook game isn't as good as it used to be.
Great title match record. Another perfect shot. With the 2 different shoes we told you about in that first match, the components in the right white shoe giving him better traction, he says. That's why he can't match them, because the left of that pair is not put together as well. It's worn out. So the right is still a perfect fit and gives him the best possible footwork on these approaches.
Wow.
Great start for each. Non-exempt qualifiers this week. Commissioner's exemption was Jeff Carter, 45th, and Tim Mack, another good showing, 36th.
Back-to-back weeks for Chris Collins.
Ten-pin stops Shafer on the turkey ball try. Also this week, history almost made with a husband and wife team nearly getting into the round of 64. John and Kendra Gaines almost became the first duo, husband and wife, the same tournament to make it. They came very close. John was second, Kendra third after the first 6 games of qualifying. Entertaining week in Atlanta. Moving in just a bit is Shafer. Takes care of that spare. Rich Valentine, the Brunswick Zone Norcross general manager. A special thanks to he and his great staff. What a wonderful setup it's been for the players and our ESPN crew here. Ten-pin again.
Wow. Shafer leaves a weak 10 on the left lane. Duke leaves a ringing 10 on the right lane. And with a spare, we're all even after 3. Check this out. Playing the inside line, his body's open, his hands underneath it, he's flipping it, getting that ball going right to left. The only thing missing was that shot not carrying.
He told us before the show today, takes care of the 10, that yes, the shoes do look a little bit unusual having one of each, but it started wearing the white and black shoe last week in Alabama. The approaches were similar. Synthetic surfaces here.
Please.
PBA.com, your best source for all the latest tournament results, stats, stories from the PBA Tour. In addition, you can sign up to view selected archive PBA Tour telecast via the PBA's pay-per-view Strike Pass service. Strike Pass gives you the chance to relive some of the tour's memorable TV moments, so check it out at PBA.com today. So So back-to-back weeks with the shoes to finish that story for Norm. Lane comparison, there's a breakdown. And there's a strike.
I think the other interesting story about Norm Duke is this week he's using completely different equipment than he's used before. Boom, makes the show.
Who wins the final today here in suburban Atlanta, Georgia? On Super Sunday, a thriller, all even, Shafer and Duke. Winning a trophy like that, so big for Ryan Shafer, who enters play top 30 in points. Head-to-head with Norm Duke here in the final. To clinch a spot, exempt tour next year, needs to really get that victory today, leading us to Universal Tire Rock and Roll.
Yeah, and this is all world here. History in the making. Watch Walter Ray heave it. He's going to throw the pins over the left. Rolls lead, 7 into the 4. Unbelievable.
Even Ryan Shafer couldn't believe it, but he did survive in that semifinal match as Walter Reyes bid to tie Earl Anthony's title record of 41. Derailed again, a third time on TV. He's been denied. So now, Shafer, Duke, center stage. The back end of the lane and the oil pattern, the ball just takes off like a shot into that pocket, perfectly every time.
And that looked like it came off of that spot really smooth, more of an arky type of move. And I think that's what Ryan Shafer is looking to get his ball to do to give himself the best chance of striking.
Look out, it's a 7-10. Well, we've seen the big four for the first time ever from Walter Ray Williams Jr. How about the fourth ever on TV from Shafer, a 7-10? Can it be, Rick?
Well, if Walter Ray can make the big four, he certainly can make the 7-10. But watch how the ball enters the pocket. It looked like it just quit on him.
Jay Stayrook, 91. Last time in Tucson. What do you say, Ryan?
Oh.
Number 7 stays up. And an open frame. Halfway through the championship match, suddenly Duke up by 12, works on a strike chance for a 22-pin lead. The door is open.
Yeah, it's almost like feeding time at the lion cage. Open frame for Norm Duke. He's going to be all over you like a bulldog on a pork chop.
Someone moved to his right.
Regroup, take a deep breath, act like it didn't happen. Get up there and throw a good shot.
So it's a fresh shot clock.
Movement down the lane. Fresh clock. Big shot here.
That's all 10 down in the pit. A double and a 22-pin lead for Norm Duke. Robert Smith continues to stay hot. He's won already once on tour this year. Has made a couple shows, 12 currently. And as we mentioned, coming out of that commercial break, Ryan Shafer really has made that comeback. However, it was cold at the moment. Doug Kent made a final earlier in the year. And Peter Hernandez of Miami continues to struggle.
Both happen to be roommates. Normally when the room was ice cold like that, you got rid of your roommate and you got a new one. Try to change the karma.
Turkey ball try, Norm Duke. Has it.
Thing of beauty. That was a thing of beauty, Dave.
Thank you, Crocodile. 32-pin lead.
Right over the center dot, which is, or the center arrow, which is the 20th board, right over the middle part of the lane, up to about the 6th, 7th board. It just perfectly flush.
Shafer must answer. Title match record, under 500. That's how you get right back to the match. Coming off the open frame. 19th year on tour for Ryan Shafer. He will try, along with the rest of the PBA Tour bowlers, next week, Jackson Hewitt Tax Service Open, Riviera Lanes, near Akron, Ohio, 12:30 Eastern Time. Note the start time here on ESPN. For more, log on to ESPN.com as our tour continues. We'll have several 12:30 Eastern start times today, unusual at 2 o'clock Eastern. Our live coverage of the PBA Tour continues. Holmes' game outstanding so far. 5 of 6 frames he has struck. Shafer looks for the double. Gets it.
Nice little move. Looks like he's tightened up his line just to shade from in.
Can't use the re-rack every time.
Doesn't like the rack on that left lane. In fact, I think both players have re-racked on that left lane, but hey, good result there. Norm Duke in the driver's seat right now, though. 22-pin lead can increase it to 32.
279 max for Duke in this game. Looks for the 4-bagger. Yes, sir. In his 83rd career appearance on TV, in 64 and 62 lifetime on television, a 22 event streak without a victory could very well come to an end today. He is en route, bidding for title number 22 of his great career. He would tie Marshall Holman for 9th place in the all-time title list with 22. Gladly take just the 2-pin up there on a ball that out of his hand could have been big trouble.
Boy, right you are. Check this out. He fans it at the bottom, and look how far right it gets. He's lucky to be looking at 9.
Near perfect single pin numbers. Has another. Straight years. 3 shows at least for Norm Duke. 19th year on tour here for Shafer. There's 4 titles, more than $1 million in earnings. Looks for the turkey ball here, 8th frame. He cut the lead, 21 for Duke.
Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Hey. Wow. That hooked a lot.
Yeah, hold it. He thought that ball was going high. It laid there nicely. And Ryan Shafer with a strike here is right back in this match.
Foundation frame time. This is big. Looks for the 4-bagger. Can be down 11.
Hold it, hold it.
4 stands for him.
2 hold-its after he went light on that left lane. 2 hold-its in a row. Unfortunately, this one is going to leave a 4-pin. Breaks loose just a little bit down the lane.
Takes care of it. So for a bowler who was really struggling, as he told us a couple of events back, 38th in the points list. And he thought it would be a stretch to make it to the exempt tour for next year. He says he will not attend qualifying school, won't go to the tour trials. He'd rather open a bowling center back home in New York State or buy an existing center. But he's bowled so well the last 2 weeks. 5th last week in Birmingham. Just missed a show. At least the finals here today. Things have changed for him. 22-pin lead, Norm Duke.
No! Are you kidding me?
He just missed having to face the 7-10.
Yeah, that was huge, too, because, you know, Norm Duke, this could have cost him this title. The blowout 7-10, gets the 10 late. Now here's the deal.
Spare.
Norm Duke
Makes spare.
needs to make this spare. Show up in the 10th frame with a decent count and a mark, and he's going to win his 22nd title.
Number 7 goes down. Needs a mark for the title. That's it. And he'll take home the championship from Atlanta.
What do? Do you take the spare ball and throw it straight down the middle, nice and hard? Or do you go with what's gotten you there? He's going with what got him there. Dance with the one you came with.
It's a winner! Norm Duke takes the title in Atlanta.
What a great shot. This ball gets way out. He gets the good hand in it, kicks to 10 late. And when you need a mark, that's the kind of mark you want. Stormin' Norman Duke. 22nd career title.
One more to boot for the Duke of Atlanta.
Sweet! Hey, guess what? Add another name to the list for Player of the Year honors. You better make some room for Duke.
This ball doesn't weigh much.
6-pounder.
Have some fun with that, Norm. Wife Karen, son Brandon back home in Florida must be thrilled beyond words.
Happy birthday, sweetheart.
Both Norm and Walter Ray were really interacting with the crowd before our show today. I'm sure he met those fine bowling fans. Signed a lot of autographs. And they'll all go home happy.
You finally caught me in age.
He just loves it. Great showman. It is done. I'll have to whisper it now. And a shout out for his family back home. Great week for Ryan Shafer, who really had an incredible story, Randy. A few weeks ago, he was thinking, I might be done on tour after 19 years. My career could be over. I may become a proprietor. Now he's back.
Ryan bowled great.
I think I would have thrown him that good if I needed him.
It wasn't for the pocket 710 he left in the 5th frame. He would have had something to say when it came down to the 10th frame as to who was going to win this title.
His best showing in the first half was 13th. Now he's a runner-up.
What a great bowling you did today all week, man. What a great round.
Norm Duke, for the 22nd time in his brilliant career as a PBA Tour champion. He wins in Atlanta this afternoon. For the 22nd time in his brilliant career, Norm Duke is a PBA Tour champion in front of a jam-packed house here in suburban Atlanta. And Norm, you made an equipment change this week. How important was that for your victory?
Well, I think it was paramount. I mean, I'm more than a year reserved from this spot. I missed it. I made the change thinking that that was the difference, and here I am holding this trophy. So I'd like to thank Brunswick Zone, Norcross. Thank you for such a great event. Dave, it's been a great week. These people are really electric. We've not come to Atlanta in some years, and so they showed us a welcome that it was sweet.
Congratulations, Norm Duke, and enjoy the celebration tonight. Norm Duke, a winner again, everyone, here in suburban Atlanta as he takes his 22nd career title in a very exciting final over Ryan Shafer. So congratulations go out to Norm Duke today. Along with the entire crew, my partner, Randy Peterson, it's Dave Ryan saying so long, reminding you next Sunday, the PBA Jackson Hewitt Tax Service Open comes to you from Riviera Lanes in Fair Lawn, Ohio. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Man of the hour, Norm Duke. European figure skating champions are next.